By the word of Set, I am bound. Greetings, resident. All documents pertaining to your citizenship have been pressed and archived. Thank you for your interest. Go forth and create. I am a factotum, a mechanized servitor automaton bound to the Clockwork City. My functions include city maintenance, record-keeping, commerce, hospitality, and basic civil defense. Just a moment. Current inventory of 7th generation factotums equals 946 active partitions, with an additional 6,400 partitions stored in Cogitum archives. Lord Set revises factotum source material and partition frames regularly. 6 generations preceded the current model. All additional information pertaining to factotum source material and fabrication is restricted. Thank you for your interest.
So you're a citizen now. Well done. I heard something about a constable tossing people down sewer drains. Even in this shrine to knowledge, drooling idiots bumble their way to power. Ludicrous. Moving on. I require your services once more. It's Eso Ps5. Shortly after you and I parted company, I sought him out to discuss our Daedric artifact. I fear something is askew. His habits, his diction, the timbre of his voice, they've all changed, albeit subtly. Worse. Initially, I dismissed it as boredom, fatigue, or even the first signs of senility. But now, after observing him at length, I can say with certainty, this is not the Eso Ps5 I know. There's Daedric mischief here, and we will root it out. We will leverage your hard-earned citizenship to make inquiries. First, I will make it known that in light of your recent exploits, I offered to take you on as my aide, an offer you eagerly accepted. As the most powerful mage in the Brassed Fortress, I find it difficult to have proper conversations with common folk. They grow silent at my approach, then whisper as I leave. An appropriate, but sadly uninformative, display of deference. Indeed. It's commonly understood that servants grumble about their masters, loudly, to those they consider equals. Ask them about Eso Ps5's recent behavior. I'm confident we'll find something of value tucked away in their churlish complaints. You have questions, of course. Ask what you must. The forces at work here are cunning indeed. You should be prepared for anything. He is inscrutable, but he's also unflinching. Seal always moves deliberately, quietly, and one step at a time, like clockwork. I have never once seen him divert from his course, until now. In the short time we've been here, he has twice adjusted city patrol routes and delivered 3 revisions to the fortress charter. Trust me when I say this is unprecedented. Eso Ps5 never meddles like this. That's for you to discover. Don't bother speaking with members of the Congress. Varuni's faith in Eso Ps5 is unbreakable. Chancellor Gascoigne resents any threat to the CEO. And Luciana, well, let's just say she's been less than helpful. Luciana resents my presence, but she's no fool. I go where I please, when I please. An open confrontation between us would likely leave hundreds dead. So do not trouble yourself. She will not stand in the way of our investigation. He is inscrutable, but he's also unfair.
Oh, yeah.
You're Lord Fear's newest steward, huh? Could we talk later? If I don't finish this lamp inventory, Gascoigne will feed me to the fabricants. Yeah, Gascoigne must know how much I love doing paperwork. A few days ago, Eso Ps5 ordered us to rip out all the lamps in here and replace them with less efficient ones. What kind of sense does that make? Who wants weaker lamps? A bunch of factotums loaded them onto a dolly and dumped them somewhere in the mechanical fundament. Hey, I know that look. If you're looking to poach a free lamp, don't bother. Gascoigne made us slag them all, and that's not even the worst part. Half the old switches don't work with the new lamp, so we've had to manufacture new switches, and half the time the switches get installed backwards, which means we have to do it all over again. Even the factotums don't know what they're doing. And don't even get me started on the lamp assembly. Eso Ps5 could have turned the fabricators to make the new lamps with a flick of his finger, but he demanded that we do it instead. Do you have any idea how complex the fabricators are?
So you're de Vayfir's new auxiliary, eh? Tough luck, friend. I've heard he's an insufferable bastard, but at least he's not Eso Ps5. Better to be turned into a guar than to serve the clockwork god. Not anymore. In the old days, sure, he was easy to please because he was never around. These days, he changes his mind about something every night. Constant meetings, new dictums daily, adjustments to factotum patrols. It's a nightmare. Trust me, this is unprecedented. I'm afraid something's wrong with his enhancements. Like he's having trouble regulating. He's a different person, I swear. Don't tell anyone I said this, especially Gascon. Blasphemy doesn't go over well nowadays. Yes, speaking ill of a god never turns out well. In the old days, he'd take it in stride. Commit your small blasphemies, he'd say. The fire of doubt turns ignorance to steam, but not anymore. This place is becoming more like Mournhold every day. Right. I'm sure you have plenty of work to do for Lord Fear. He's back a few days and already burying you in paperwork, no doubt. Take care of yourself, friend.
Farewell, Greeting error 827.
So you're the one Devaith tapped to be his aide in the Brass Fortress. Sorry to hear that. Provost Varuni's ancestors hail from House Telvanni, just like Lord Fear. But honestly, they couldn't be more different. Not as bad as you might expect. She's young, youth comes with impatience, but I've never felt unfairly judged, and she's generous with her praise. Honestly, if I had the choice between serving Varuni or Sotha Seal, I'd take Varuni every time. Now more than ever, I don't pretend to understand his motives, but he's never been so demanding. One example? He insists that we turn all the lights down before he enters a room. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? It's maddening. Huh, flipping switches. That's rich. Each lamp has its own switch, and some lamps have multiple switches. And if that isn't bad enough, some switches control multiple lamps. He's a god, I know, but it shouldn't take a genius to turn on the lights. Don't even get me started. Varuni might demand some obscure tome in the middle of the night or chide someone for leaving oil on the floor, but that's the worst of it. So Cecile exiled an auxiliary last week because she forgot to switch off a lamp. Right, don't let me keep you. I can't imagine how demanding Devaith Fear must be. Better you than me, that's for sure. Keep your nose to the cogs and you'll be fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to flip 24 switches again.
Were you treated well by the menials? I assume they battered you with complaints. What have you learned? Yes, well, I could have told you that. That's why I sent you here after all. What kinds of demands? Be specific. The lamps in the locutorium, yes? The large assembly room over there? The auxiliaries and factotums have been laboring in there day and night ever since we arrived. Curious. What could lights have to do with this? Well, there's only one way to find out. Impressive. I assumed I'd have to explain it to you. Of course, this requires a functional lamp. I assume he ordered them destroyed. Speak to that high elf of yours, Neramo. The dark elf as well. We need one of these lamps, repaired and operable.
Combatants needed for a perilous task. Please respond for more information.
I hope to see you again, Assistant. Pray tell, what did Devaith Fear have to say? I fear that he and I might have gotten off to a poor start. Did he ask about me? Any mention of my many exploits? Raynor? Surely this is something I can handle myself. Impressing Devaith Fear could greatly increase my standing in the Dwemer scholarly community. Tell me, what does Lord Fear ask of me? Us? He just wants us to build a lamp? What an odd request. No matter. I would be happy to offer my ample expertise, provided you let Devaith Fear know that I did so. First things first. I need to study one of the lamps we're supposed to recreate.
What do you want? There's no end in sight. What is it?
There were rumors of dark elves disappearing near Marlak's Moor. Turns out a gang of orcs were behind it.
Wrong way, assistant. Some kind of tubular housing. Probably meant to protect a glass interior? Difficult to say. A complex filament of some kind. The weaving on this fiber, it must be machine-made. I should be taking notes. Wrong way, assistant. Some kind of compressor. For funneling a gas, perhaps? Interesting. Look at the apertures on this. It must be some kind of modulator that changes the nature of the light. Fascinating. Compressors, filaments, housings, modulators. Yes! I think I understand what these discarded lights have in common. Unlike the other lamps, these compress some kind of geodic gas into metal tubes, then modulate the light to create another kind of illumination that mortal eyes cannot see. Invisible light! Remarkable! The potential applications are limitless. Yes, with Rayna's assistance, I believe we can recreate this lamp without much difficulty. Of course, you'll need to procure the requisite parts. These are all broken beyond repair. What do you plan to do with this light, exactly? You plan to do what? Oh dear. Well, this seems like a terrible idea, but I shall rely upon you and Lord Fear to protect me. Here's a list of the components I'll need. Once you've acquired them, meet me in the Hall of Refined Techniques. Good luck.
doing so for Seal? Does he ever come out?
He concerns himself with divine nature. Beyond simple understanding.
But shouldn't he help look after the city he created?
Oh, yeah.
I have a standing order with those strange warriors at the Ranizah Sword School. Someone usually comes to pick it up, but they haven't shown up this month.
He fell right out of the sky, like a bare-arsed comet. You're here to laugh at me as well? I saw what I saw. He was naked as the full moons in a cloudless sky. Dragon Star Arena, where I lost everything? A sure win, they said. Only fools wouldn't bet, they said. Then that bare-arsed imbecile dropped out of nowhere and threw the match. Out of thin air shouting nonsense about defeating the Ankara. The guard took him to Bankarai Gate if you're headed that way. He's the indecent Imperial going on about celestial this and that. If you see him, tell him he owes me 1,000 gold.
Halt there, traveler. Bankerai Garrison is on lockdown since the death of King Aemond. Only Knights of St. Pellin and members of the royal family are allowed in. Also, if you were planning on going to Evermore, you might want to reconsider that. An army of Reachmen is just a day's march from the city, and when they get there, it's not going to be pretty. We've done all we can, but frankly, I think it may have been in vain. The knights we sent haven't returned or sent word. The group was led by Sir Dubrock, and they went to Jackdaw Cove, hoping to strike at the heart of these Reachmen, this Hagraven who apparently leads them. If you do go north, we wouldn't complain if you looked for Sir Dubrock. He may need help.
Now there's the look of someone on the hunt for something specific. You've come to the right place, friend. I've got a bit of everything. What can I get you? As a matter of fact, I acquired some of those just a few days ago. Apparently, someone's tossing out the old lighting to make way for the new. They're not easy to come by anymore, though. What's your offer? It's a bit less than I'd prefer, but if that's all you can afford, I'm a reasonable woman. We'll consider this a down payment on future business. Come see me again.
The Ordinators seem on edge. What are the Dark Elves so nervous about? There's a lot you can do with crows. They're very versatile creatures. Crow stew, crow pie, croquettes. A house and furniture go together like Sotha's seal and mysteries.
Well?
Expected Clockwork City to be a bit more hospitable.
We need not the grease of Lancer to find out the secrets here.
Still, you never touched it? The smell of oil or the taste of gruel?
Well? Your mind must become a single constant.
Ah, you've returned! Excellent! Raynor and I have cobbled together a serviceable frame for the lamp. All we need now are the components I sent you to acquire. Were you successful? Wonderful! I'm confident this lamp will conform to the exact specifications of the lamps they removed, provided Raynor didn't make any miscalculations. So, would this be the time to inform Devaith Fear of our success? Or mine, specifically? Excellent, excellent! No need to return here, of course. Kirith should be back straight away, and I'll have her run the completed lamp over to the locutorium as soon as it's ready. See you soon, Assistant!
Ah, I was beginning to worry. Not about you, of course. These apostles have been circling me like cliff racers. Looking for an autograph, no doubt. So tiresome. I take it you were successful in learning about these lights and constructing a new one? Well done. I assume you discovered the special property of these lamps. Why does my dear friend Seal go to such lengths to avoid them? Visible light. Fascinating. To help with factotum navigation, perhaps? Huh. No matter. Further inquiry must wait. Now is the time for action. I will request a congressional assembly. Plant your lamp on the balcony above, then return to me.
Did you say something about putting the lamp on the balcony? We might have a problem. Raynor and that annoying high elf finished your lamp, but there's a problem.
On the way here, I overheard an aide complaining about some new security measures Sotha Seal put in place. Looks like the balcony is under heavy guard now. Looks that way, unless you want blood on your hands, of course. But that might complicate our sponsorship a smidge, yeah? Just be quick and quiet, like me. You'll be fine. Here's the lamp, good luck. If I turn you in, do I get your bounty?
I convinced Sotha Seal that the Congress requires yet another lecture on the sanctity of clockwork automata. He eagerly agreed. Seemed almost giddy about it. It was unsettling. Is all in readiness? Good. Seal's lecture should begin any moment now. Stand ready to activate the lamp. I'm reasonably certain that something will happen, but the specifics elude me. I guess this is what uncertainty feels like. What a novel change of pace.
Remind you yet again. My beloved factotums serve as an extension of my divine will. Accost them, and you accost me. In the past, I have encouraged the child's curiosity and accepted minor blasphemies. But my generosity has limits. Know this. Any servant of the clockwork god found tinkering with factotums shall receive.
What is that? What's happening?
After him! Someone seize that imposter! I am the clockwork god. I will kneel before me. Kneel. Curse you, outsider. I will return.
I haven't the time to discuss this, Varuni. Wittingly or unwittingly, Lord Set no longer serves the people of Clockwork City. Now, if you will excuse me.
Gascon, where are you going? When news of this gets out, we need to issue a statement or at least gather the Congress for an emergency session.
I have urgent matters to attend to. Make whatever statement you like. I will return soon.
Well, that was enlightening. To think I've been speaking to Sotha Seal's shadow all this time. It seems so lifelike. Far more advanced than my own, I'm sorry to say. Fascinating. It really is too bad we'll all be dead soon. Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but I will be frank. If an imposter sits upon the throne aligned and learns how to wield the power of this place, a cataclysm will follow. We may yet discover a way to avert this disaster, but the chances are slim. Stay with Varuni. With Sotha Seal exposed as an imposter, the Congress will fall into turmoil. In such chaos, dark truths always float to the surface. Pray they do so quickly. I have other inquiries to make. Stay vigilant. We will meet again soon.
My dear Lord Set, what happened to you? I can scarcely believe what we just witnessed. How could this happen? How could a shadow masquerade as Lord Set? The Father of Mysteries would never let such a thing happen. There must be another explanation. Fear, of course. Always the iconoclast. I'll bet he's snickering at us even now. It doesn't matter. I appreciate your diligence. This has been a profoundly upsetting ordeal, but we must move forward. We must find the real Lord Set. Yes, he was acting strangely, wasn't he? He always chafed under Lord Set's rule. Now he finally has a pretext to seize control, and he slinks away like a broken basilisk. Curious. Too curious. The real Lord Set will aid us eventually, I know it. In the meantime, we must do for ourselves. Thank you for everything you've done. It appears we'll have to do a lot more before this is through. Classic Gascoigne. Fleeing to his chambers when things go poorly. I'm sure that news of Lord Set's condition has already made it to the streets. We have to move quickly to prevent a panic. Try to talk to Gascoigne. He clearly doesn't care what I have to say, but he might listen to an exodromal. You remain, a novelty. No offense. We can't assemble the Congress without the Chancellor. Check his rectory in the west wing of the Basilica. He hides in there sometimes to nurse a bruised ego or write passive-aggressive memoranda. I'll try to settle the Apostle's nerves. Honestly, my nerves could use some settling. Don't let Gascoigne wriggle out of this. He has a duty and an obligation, as do I. What? Yes. Yes, I'll be fine. This makes no sense. I don't understand how a shadow could take Lord Set's place. Maybe this is some sort of test. But why test us? The Clockwork Apostles haven't strayed. We build and pray and experiment just as the holy texts dictate. Compromised? You make it sound as if Lord Set suffers some kind of defect, like a crimped duct or a stripped bolt or something. We're talking about a divine being. Gods can't be compromised. They exist without flaws. Right? Do you know what the sermons say? Complexity belies the truth. The world rests on simple principles. Set is the truth and the light. Understand the simple, and you understand the obscure. I do appreciate your candor. Let's pick this up again later. There you are. The factotums reported a strange energy signature in Gascoigne's rectory. Did you find anything odd in there? Sounds like a nocturnal shrike. By the gears, how did that thing make it past our security coils? Is Gascoigne... Not suspicious at all, is it? A sudden departure followed by a Daedra attack. You're right. I knew Gascoigne was a conceited sluggard, but consorting with Daedra? I pray it's not true. We need to discover what he has that the Daedra covered. Proctor Luciana might be able to organize a search. She just left to disperse a crowd. I hope you catch Gascoigne soon. We need to know what he knows immediately. Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask? Wait, feathers? From a live bird? Unprecedented. As far as I know, no living bird has ever set foot or wing in Clockwork City. And even if they did, they wouldn't last long. Not a lot of worms crawling around here. They do eat worms, right? Fascinating. I've always wanted to see one. Under better circumstances, of course. I'll notify our naturalists once we resolve this situation with Gascoigne. I'm afraid not. Gascoigne keeps his own counsel about what he does outside the Basilica. He spent a few days out in the Radius last month, but that's hardly unusual. Apostles conduct research outside the fortress all the time. Mathematics mostly, predictive theory, spherical values, virtuous enumeration, that sort of thing. He just published a dissertation on transdimensional calculation, making inferences on how numbers change during planar travel. Impressive work. The specificity of his calculations just boggles the mind. It's almost as if he had access to a planar rift. Oh no. I don't want to even consider it. Not until we have proof. Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask? Wait, feathers? From a live bird? Unprecedented. I knew this wouldn't end well.
I'm not here to speculate on Lord Set's whereabouts. I'm here to clear the square.
You don't know, do you? I knew it! This is a disaster!
If you want to panic, do so in your own homes, not in the public square. Now disperse, or be dispersed. Get them moving.
You heard the Proctor. Return to your homes.
If you're looking for Lord Set, I don't know where he is. I will find out, though. Count on it. Gascoigne, what has he done now? I can't keep up with the complaints. Good. Maybe a fabricant ate him. Our luck has to change at some point. So, he finally graduated from corrupt hobbyist to professional villain. I'm almost relieved. Now we can finally give him what he deserves. I assume you informed your sponsor, Provost Varuni? A citywide search? I can't spare enough apostles to search a broom closet. Reports are flooding in from the radius. Stories about fanatics in black robes, pale-skinned Daedra, living shadows. We may have a full-scale invasion on our hands. I have one asset I can spare. I know an artificer, Dalamar. He takes some getting used to, but you won't find a better tinkerer. He can help you find Gascon, guaranteed. Go talk to him. He set up shop near the tenements. Slagtown. I knew that slag-addled piece of garbage Gascon would turn on us eventually. We should have dealt with this decades ago. I think we should destroy it, if only to convince the people it can be destroyed. I'm already getting reports from citizens convinced that their neighbor or their friend is actually a shadow. Another few weeks of this, it will not end well. I'm prepared to live with that. I made a vow to protect the Clockwork City and its inhabitants. If sacrifices have to be made, we should all be prepared to make them, Lord Set included. You can ask. I have a crank in between my shoulder blades. One of my auxiliaries winds me up every morning before breakfast. That's a joke. In the same way as every other clockwork automata. A combination of engineering and that would take a century to explain. The machinery keeps me alive. I know it's unsettling to look at, but no one ever said life in Clockwork City was fair. I think we should destroy it, if only to convince them.
If you hadn't stopped the Covenant from summoning Sadal, we'd all be dead.
Get this until I drop.
Looking for a steady hand with a pickaxe ready.
Well, well, look at you, all full of fleshy bits. Not a scrap of brass on you, is there? That won't do, that will not do. I can fix you up, no bother at all. Maybe new feet. You need new feet, don't you? A missing person? How mysterious. You wouldn't be looking for Sotha Seal, would you? I hear rumors, you know. All kinds of rumors. Something about him turning into a crow. Or was it a frog? Never mind. Luciana did you a favor. I have just the thing. Whoa! Cool those cogs, you twitchy rascal. This little scrap heap should do the trick. Meet Snuffler, the tracking Nyx. There he goes! I just replaced his leg springs, so try to keep up.
Don't know. I always expected Clockwork City to be a bit more hospitable.
We need not the grease of luxury to find ourselves here.
Still, you never tire of the smell of oil or the taste of gruel?
yeah. Oi! Wake up, Johnny! Visitors! Ah, useless. What are you doing nosing around here with that ugly beast? Johnny and I haven't done nothing. Chancellor who? Oh, you mean that brass-arsed fancy boots that came running through here. Yeah, I seen him, dragging his silly apostle skirts behind him like a broken wheel chain. Seemed like he was in a hurry. Pretty suspicious, if you ask me. Yeah, the grease mucks up Dabrakan snoots. That's why we stay down here. Wouldn't want the constable to see you. Never mind. Your man headed west. Should be some oily footprints about. Follow those tracks and you'll find your fancy boots.
Kill me. Too late. Your skeeving Chancellor beat you to it. Who are you? Another one of vile, sniveling agents. Gascoigne's gone. Now, let me return to my mistress in peace. West, in the ventral terminus. He may have killed me, but he won't last long. He sealed his fate the moment he betrayed us. There existed a covenant between your Gascoigne, Clavicus Vile, and my mistress. But he broke it. Now he will drown in blood. Night Mistress, I am coming. You really have no idea, do you? Daedric forces conspire in every dark corner, lurk behind every tree and stone. We spread like a plague, claiming more souls and territory with each passing hour. So the Seal's precious city will die at our hands. Yes, Scarvin and others. They served their purpose, and yet they linger, confounding my mistress's plans and providing safe harbor to that toad, Gascoigne. I will say no more. Gascoigne vowed to bring us an artifact of great power. Now, the artifact is gone. But don't worry. My mistress will wring the truth out of him soon. The Whispering Shadows will claim this artifact, and you will all die, deafened by your own screams. You really have no idea, do you?
there. Be gone, whoever you are. I sealed the door, and it shall remain sealed for as long as necessary. Questions? You think I'm foolish enough to let you in? No, this door will remain closed. I just need time to work this out, to smooth things over. Simple. Now leave me be. Who I keep counsel with is none of your concern. You're just like Varuni, so uptight, so naive. If you value your life, you'll leave this place now! Huh?